What if the biggest reason your life is not moving forward is not the world, not your situation, not your luck, but your own mind? Most people never lose their dreams because they fail. They lose them because they get distracted, tired, and undisciplined. This is not a loud problem, it is silent. And today, this story is for anyone who feels their mind is always pulling them away from the life they want. There was a young man named Arav. He had dreams like everyone else. He wanted to grow, to succeed, to prove something to himself. He was not lazy. He worked hard when motivation was high, but his biggest struggle was focus. His mind never stayed in one place. When he sat to work, his phone felt more important. When he studied, his thoughts wandered. When he planned his future, fear showed up. Every night, he told himself that tomorrow would be different. Tomorrow, he would be disciplined. Tomorrow, he would focus. But tomorrow always came with the same habits. Over time, this started hurting him deeply, not because he was failing, but because he knew he could do better. He saw people around him moving ahead. Some were not smarter than him, some were not more talented, but they were consistent, and that confused him. Slowly, self-doubt entered his mind. He started believing that maybe discipline was something he didn't have. Maybe focus was for other people, and that thought was dangerous. One night, Arav sat alone in his room. Books were open, work was pending, and his phone was right next to him. He picked it up without thinking. Just a few minutes, he told himself. One video became many. 1 minute became an hour. When he finally looked at the time, guilt hit him hard. He felt tired, angry, and disappointed, not with life, but with himself. He asked a painful question in silence. Why can't I control my own mind? The next morning, Arav went out for a walk. He wanted quiet. He wanted answers. In a small park, he noticed an old man sitting on a bench. The man looked peaceful. No phone, no rush, just calm breathing and still eyes. Something about that calm pulled Arav in. After a while, he sat beside him. With hesitation, he asked, "Sir, how do you stay so calm?" The old man smiled and said, "Because I train my mind." Arav laughed softly and replied, "I try every day, but my mind never listens." The old man looked at him and said, "You don't train the mind in one day. You discipline it every day." Those words stayed in the air. The old man explained that the mind is like a wild horse. If you let it run anywhere, it will exhaust you. But if you train it slowly, it will carry you far. He said focus is not a talent. Self-control is not luck. They are habits built quietly through small choices. He told Arav to start small, very small. Control one thought. Finish one task. Say no to one distraction. That is how discipline begins. That day, Arav didn't feel magically changed, but he felt something new, clarity. The next morning, Arav tried something different. He woke up and didn't touch his phone. His mind screamed, just one look, just one message. He felt uncomfortable, restless, almost anxious, but he stayed still. 5 minutes passed, then 10. Slowly, the noise inside his head became softer. For the first time in a long time, his mind felt calm. He worked for just 30 minutes that day, fully focused, no multitasking, no distractions. When he finished, he felt proud, not because he did something big, but because he kept a promise to himself. The next day, he tried again. Some days were good, some days he failed, but this time he didn't quit. He remembered that discipline is not about being perfect, it is about showing up again. Weeks passed. Arav started trusting himself. His focus improved. His confidence grew. He learned that discipline is choosing what you want most over what you want now. He learned that the mind doesn't need force, it needs direction. Slowly, his habits changed. His thoughts became clearer. His life felt lighter. Months later, he walked past the same park. The bench was empty. The old man was gone. But the lessons stayed with him forever. Arav realized that nothing outside him had changed. The world was the same, problems were still there, but he had changed. His mind now worked for him, not against him. And that is the lesson for you. Your mind can be your biggest enemy or your strongest weapon. Discipline is not punishment, it is self-respect. focus is not doing more, it is doing what matters. Start today, not with big goals, but with small control. Control your first thought, your first action, your first distraction. Because when you discipline your mind every day, your life slowly follows. And if you can control your mind, you can control your future. The real question is not can you? The real question is will you start today?